Thank you for joining us. I am Timothy Wainwright. Today we are covering the Election Day development and the latest in sports and stories that impact across the campus and Central Arkansas. The news broke Friday afternoon and sent sound waves across the campus. UA Little Rock men's basketball coach Darrell Walker fired after 8 years with the program. Max and Isaac have the story.
UA Little Rock Athletic Director Frank Cuervo broke the news Friday afternoon that Little Rock head coach Darrell Walker had been relieved of his duties after 8 years at the helm of the Trojans men's basketball program. The news came just 3 days after Little Rock's season ended with their second straight first-round exit in the OVC tournament. The news of the firing shook the Arkansas basketball world, as Walker had ties to the natural state long before his Trojans tenure began. The Chicago native first came to Arkansas to begin his collegiate career in 1979. Walker impressed at West Ark Community College, earning a 1980 transfer to the University of Arkansas. In his 3 years in Fayetteville, Walker cemented himself as one of the greatest to ever play for the Razorbacks. He led the SEC in steals in back-to-back years in '81 and '82, and in his following senior season, Walker led the SEC in scoring at over 18.5 points per game. He was drafted 12th overall in the 1983 NBA draft and enjoyed a 10-year career in the NBA, garnering a reputation as one of the league's elite defenders. In Walker's final season in the league in 1993, while playing for his hometown Chicago Bulls, he won an NBA championship alongside Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Less than a week on from the news, public reaction is mixed, with fans chiming in on both sides. Critics of the move have primarily spoken out that the lack of success the past 2 years is a matter of injuries to the team, not one of leadership. While Cuervo acknowledged the season was a rash of injuries unlike he's ever seen, he says the decision was made after evaluating the whole of Walker's tenure, not just the last 2 years.
But really try to take a look at the overall body of work. And, as I evaluated that over time and saw where, hey, we certainly had some seasons that we performed at a high level. We just weren't quite able to sustain the type of consistency that I think we have the resources in place to. This is a place where you can achieve sustained competitive success. It doesn't need to be a once in an every while thing. It needs to be an annual thing. And I think we have the job in place to do that.
Little Rock Athletics has announced a nationwide coaching search is underway to locate the school's next men's basketball coach. For Isaac Luzader Hearn, I'm Max Coltrane, Trojan Truth.
Last week's Election Day results came in. Grace Wilson reported from the polling sites.
The 2026 Arkansas primary elections on March 3rd brought voters to the polls across state, with strong turnout in federal, statewide, and local races that will help shape Arkansas's politics heading into November's general election. In the 4th Congressional District, Democrat Party James Russell won his party's nomination with 53% of the vote. He now advances to face Republican incumbent Bruce Westerman in November.
We won. Now we simply continue doing the work. We have to just do more of it. That's it.
Russell says the primary results reflect strong support from voters across the district.
If I'm going to send out postcards, it's going to be to a regional area that goes, hey, I'm going to be here on this date. If you want to come and talk about the issues, here's where I'm going to be. If you miss it, I'll be back in this area. But it's using that to inform people about, here's your chance to actually come meet. Here's your chance for your voice to be heard.
It was an unopposed victory for District 69's David Ray, who will begin a third term in the State House in November. He spoke about the issues most important to the Republican Party right now.
I mentioned the issue of affordability and economic pressures that people are feeling on their pocketbook. We've been huge proponents of lowering the tax burden, both on income tax and on property tax. Which gives people more money in their pocket. Families and individuals, I think, generally know much better how to spend their own hard-earned money than, government bureaucrats in Little Rock would.
In the Democratic primary for U.S. District 72, Dr. Talisha Dokes won the Democratic primary for an Arkansas House seat with 64% of the vote. And with no Republican nominee, Dokes is expected to jump into the seat unopposed as North Little Rock's next representative.
And so we'll stand on those pillars, which is education, health and wellness, environmental safety, veteran services, and the communications framework that will allow us to be more reactive instead of responsive to the things and issues that go on in our community.
As a North Little Rock High School and UA Little Rock graduate, Dokes spoke about how her time as a Trojan helped lead her to public service.
But here, I was able to learn the flexibility and how to navigate and really advocate for myself, and just persevere and push to get finished.
With nearly all precincts reporting, the results offer an early look at voter priorities heading toward the November 2026 general election. This is Grace Wilson, Trojan Truth.
Beyond the classroom competition, students across the campus are making an impact in their own unique way. One student's story is drawing attention for the difference that they're making both at ULR and in a wider community. Emma shares more in tonight's student feature.
Inside the Learning Commons at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, students come searching for answers, sometimes to difficult math problems, and sometimes to even bigger academic challenges. For many of them, the person helping them find those answers is tutor Chelsea Saunders.
My name is Chelsea, and I am a grad student at UALR in the math department.
Saunders is now pursuing their graduate degree in mathematics while balancing multiple responsibilities across campus. Their dedication to helping others succeed has not gone unnoticed.
I didn't know that they even had something like that as tutor of the month. It was a surprise when they told me.
They have been recognized for their work helping students succeed, earning the Outstanding Tutor Award in 2021 and being named Tutor of the Month in 2025. But Saunders says the real reward isn't recognition. It's seeing students gain confidence.
I really like it when somebody can make a connection that they didn't understand before. It opens up a new way of thinking for them. It's like opening up a new world for them. Especially when somebody has been really frustrated, and they're despairing, they're on the verge of tears, sometimes they're literally crying. And then you get them to make this little connection, and they have such a sense of relief, and then I feel that, I vicariously feel that relief through them.
Now as a graduate student, Saunders continues exploring the subject they've loved since childhood. For Saunders, tutoring isn't just about solving equations. It's about helping students believe in their ability to learn, even when the problem in front of them seems impossible.
A UA Little Rock student production of the Pulitzer Prize winning stage play Fairview by Jackie Shuby's jury ran on campus from March 4th to March 8th. This week, Seth and Hannah take us behind scenes of the production and performances of the play.
This week, crowds gathered at Hayslip Theater in the University of Arkansas Little Rock Center for Performing Arts for a university-led production of Jackie Sibley's Drury's play, Fairview. This stage play about a middle-class African-American family incorporates comedic and satirical elements, as well as social commentary to become anything but your typical theatrical drama. For insight into the motivations behind staging Fairview at Hayslip Theater this spring, we spoke to production director Dr. Lawrence Smith.
Yeah. It's a brilliant play, and it's a really funny play. And it's an extremely challenging play that that has a way of making sense after it's already baffled you, and then takes you places that you never thought that you would go, all within 90 to 100 minutes.
Fairview incorporates unconventional multimedia elements such as a mock podcast to convey its themes of surveillance and race relations in the modern world. Veteran theater actress and UALR student Jennifer Hamill describes her experience returning to the stage for such an unusual production.
It was really joyful for me because I miss those theater family connections. And yet everyone's younger than me, everyone's at a different track in trying to perform, and I've connected with the observers, the voyeurs, as we call ourselves, and for coming back to the stage after such a long absence, I feel like I'm in a delicious pot of jam. I'm between I'm going to call them, heavy-hitting community actors, Verda and Keith, and then I'm with all these young people that are just energetic and good, and I'm like, I'm in a great spot to be stepping back on stage again.
With each night sold out, UALR's production of Fairview was certain to have made the nights of many in attendance. This has been Seth McCullough reporting for Trojan Truth. Back to you, Tim.
In other sports news, ULR's men's baseball won its series 2 out of the 3 against rivals UCA in the I-40 Governor's Cup. Max and Isaac broke the story for us.
It was a huge early season test for the Little Rock baseball team this weekend, the I-40 showdown between the Trojans and the Central Arkansas Bears. Weekend rain meant the Trojans would play 2 in Conway on Friday, with the sides finishing things up on Sunday at Gary Hogan Field. Despite striking first on Friday through an RBI double from senior Angel Cano, Little Rock's offense went quiet, and Central Arkansas grabbed back an early lead in Game 1. In the top of the 6th inning in a 5-1 game, Trojan skipper Chris Curry was ejected for arguing balls and strikes, and without their manager, Little Rock would lose Game 1, 7-1. The loss extended the Trojans' losing streak to 5 games, but there was no time to pout, as the two teams would have to gear up for the second half of the doubleheader. Being in desperate need of a win, the Trojans had exactly who they wanted on the mound. Little Rock's ace, junior Brandon Westmoreland, tossed 6 scoreless innings, striking out 8 Bears, and the Trojans won Game 2, 8-2, setting up a series-deciding clash in Little Rock on Sunday.
Great bounce back. No secret that we've been struggling the last few games. We encountered our first storm here early in the year, but you can't start anywhere without some toughness and some want to and just some grit, and I saw that out of these guys.
Back at Gary Hogan Field, the Trojans fell behind 2-0 early, but after junior Zach Busick settled in on the mound and with good run support throughout the game, Little Rock took Game 3, 7-2, as the Trojans took the season series from the Bears for a 3rd straight season and moved to 8-7 on the year.
Well, really proud of our club. I hope this weekend is indicative of who we're going to be.
Little Rock baseball will be back at Gary Hogan Field Tuesday, March 17th, taking on Oral Roberts. Max Coltrane, Trojan Truth.
A celebration took place at Little Rock Zoo. Benny the gorilla just turned 1 year old, and the zoo staff says he is growing so fast. Keepers share that Benny is becoming more independent, climbing trees, exploring with his mom, and even foraging for solid foods alongside the rest of his troops. He's especially fond of spending time with his father. Staff describe him as curious, playful, and already showing off a goofy personality that guests have came to love. Many may remember Benny first made national headlines when his name was revealed on Today, NBC's morning show. This weekend, superhero themed party gave the community a chance to celebrate, just to wish one of Little Rock's famous residents a very first happy birthday. For everyone here at Trojan Truth, I am Timothy Wainwright.